Hello everyone, and in today's video I'm going to talk about back wheel balance. Now, if you find it daunting and you think, oh no, back wheel balance definitely not for me, I'm not going to be able to learn that, don't worry, you're not on your own. Pretty much everybody felt like that, including myself. And a lot of people think that it's a bit of a party trick, you only learn it to show off and things like that. That's not true. A lot of the intermediate and advanced wheelchair skills use back wheel balance as a cornerstone. You pretty much need to know back wheel balance before you can go ahead with those. So it's very valuable to learn. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the mechanics of back wheel balance. Then I'll go into a little bit of safety and then come up with a few tips for you. So you get into back wheel balance by making sure that you're sat upright in your chair. If there's any gap on your backside here, between your backside and the backrest, your weight's going to be further forward and it's going to be harder to lift your casters up. Make sure you sat straight and head up, hands back, and then basically you're doing a flick, but you're going to put a bit more power into it and then lean forward at the top, like this. So you see my head's back, and then as I push, my head goes a little bit forward, and then I'm basically holding it where it is. The idea is that if you're falling too far forwards, you push forwards, and if you're leaning too far backwards, you push backwards, and then that should put you in position. So you're constantly sort of leaning forwards, leaning backwards, so you're constantly sort of moving a little bit. It's very minute motions just to keep your balance. Now, if you're going into this with a bit panicked and you're wanting to sort of jerk the chair around, sort of like this. I see that quite a lot. That's not going to help you. If you do feel like that, take 5. Go and make yourself a cup of tea, put on some candles, put on some whale music, whatever you do to relax. You can't go into it like that. You need to sort of come into it relaxed. So if you are going to exaggerate, don't exaggerate with jerky movements, over-exaggerate with smooth motions like this. I see a lot of people just sort of put their front casters down and then move up like this. You actually learn something from that, whereas you don't learn anything from sort of jerking around. Safety. Before you start this, make sure you have a spotter. I've done a video on spotting, and I'll put links to some more in the pinned comment, but there'll be one link around here somewhere. A few tips for you. So, first one is think about using different floor terrains. Rule of thumb is that the harder it is to push on, the easier it is to back wheel balance on. So if you're starting out and you just want to do a stationary back wheel balance, ideally you'd use grass, so out on a lawn, in a park or something like that. The idea is that your wheel isn't free moving around, and it's just easier to hold yourself in position when you're on something that's a bit rough. You can use thick carpet as well. Thick carpet's a great idea. Ideally, you don't want to be starting on the kind of floor that I am right now, which is sort of like a wood floor, lino / laminate, hardwood flooring, all that kind of thing. You're best starting off on thick carpet or on grass. Now another thing you can do is find an object, ideally above head height. If you're in a park or on a lawn, that's like a tree or a window or a bush in the distance. In a room, you'd be looking at a clock, something above head height, or a picture on the wall, or the top of a window, or something like that. Just find an object and focus on it. Now this takes away a lot of the visual cues that can mess a few people up. A lot of people find it more natural, which is what you want really. Back wheel balance should be as natural as balancing your head on your shoulders. So looking at an object, it relaxes people, makes it feel more natural, makes it more based on feeling, which is kind of what you want. Another one, and this is the final one for those who can use your legs a little bit, is not to use them. Don't use them. I know when I've taught a few people who don't use wheelchairs, they're able-bodied people, and they want to kind of learn back wheel balance just for fun. I've seen most of them kind of throw their legs out, and then that basically it throws them forward, and they then throw their legs back, and then they go backwards, and basically they tipped backwards when I first started, but now I won't let anybody do it unless they're using a spotter. So that doesn't happen anymore. But if you are tempted to throw your legs out, then honestly just duct tape your legs to your chair, or duct tape your feet to your chair if needs be, just to stop yourself from doing that, because that can be really dangerous, and the force that you actually throw yourself back with, if you were to use your legs, could actually overpower your spotter. So honestly, just tape your legs to your chair if you're tempted to use them. So that covers back wheel balance. If I find any more good tips, I will remake this video just to make sure that it's all included. So I hope you found this video helpful, and of course, as always, thank you for watching.